Zootopia has a crazy underlying story to it.
Well, so for those that don't know, Zootopia is a animated film about a fox and a rabbit who are investigating. I don't know. It's like a murder mystery or something. It's not a murder.
Yeah, tell everybody how you saw the movie. Now, then I'll rebuttal with how I saw the movie.
Best I remember. Now, I haven't seen it since it was in theaters. So I went to the theaters to see it with my daughter, but it played out like a procedural. I thought it was basically like Law and Order meets a cartoon. Two cops investigating a crime, going from spot to spot to spot. Like in my mind, you could hear the dun dun, and then they're in the new location. Dun dun, and then they're in a new location. And then they solve the crime. So I saw it as basically Law and Order, the animated series. That's how I saw the movie. Pretty cut and dry. And I can't remember, was it a murder investigation or a theft? It had to be because it was a kid's movie, a theft or something. There were disappearing animals, right? There were disappearing animals?
No, it starts off with a missing persons case.
That's it. It's a missing persons case. All right.
The second act of the film, they find out that the mayor apparently is shooting poisonous darts or something. Like they're doing something, or no, the mayor is caging people. The mayor is caging these predators, essentially. So the population of Zootopia is like 97% vegetarian or whatever, herbivore.
Well, it's a zoo.
Huh?
The Zootopia is a zoo, essentially. It's a zoo.
Well, it's a city. It's in New York. You know, it's the name of a place where peace and harmony is the idea. That's a constant theme. Peace and harmony exists in Zootopia, a big city. But the second act, we find out the mayor is caging the missing people. So then we think that that's happening. Turns out in the third act, though, that we hear it laid out, like word for word, that the predators are only 3% of the population. And in order to get political sway, the government, essentially, this person, this little sheep in the movie, is pushing essentially what they define as drugs. They have an assassin in the film to shoot drugs into the predators' faces, the minority.
Oh, because it makes them like super predators, right? It makes them like
it reverts them back from the anamorphic, like human, straight back into a real puma or into a real alligator or whatever.
Yeah, they just want to start attacking things.
Yeah, and the animation changes and everything for it. They turn back into like an animal. But what I'm saying is that because of the population density, they're saying essentially that the minorities, the government is feeding them drugs so that they act out, and that we get like riots, and we can say, like, we can point a finger at them because that's exactly what happens in the film. 3% of the population, the minority of the population, are animals. And we're going to give them drugs so they act like animals, and therefore we can point our finger at them and gain political power.
I feel like you smoked weed before you watched this movie or something.
No, I watched this at your house, man. I was chilling out on the Netflix, and I got fucking woken up to what's happening in the world.
You saw. Well, it's essentially, isn't that why they claim what happened with weed legalization? They
demonize the Mexicans.
The minorities.
To point the finger at the Mexicans.
In like real life, like when they made marijuana illegal.
Yeah, back in like 32 or 34 or whenever it was.
They blamed the minority population, said it was causing people to go crazy, and we had to get rid of it.
Definitely.
And so you're essentially saying that's what this movie Zootopia is.
That's what I read into it, because they clearly define. It's a clear scene in the film where this little sheep that took over after the lion mayor, this is like the deputy mayor, is a little sheep. And she, like, it turns out the lion, the predator mayor guy, he was like only trying to like study them and figure out what was happening to them. The whole time, this deputy mayor, this little bitch of a sheep, was running around shooting drugs into minority populations so that she could point the finger at minorities and say that this is the problem with us and get elected as mayor. It's a complete analogy to Hillary Clinton's campaign.
What the fuck? How do you... I don't even know that parallel. What parallel are you drawing there?
The government, the 80s cocaine epidemic, the crack epidemic, all of that was a government funded.
What the fuck are you talking about?
All of the cocaine in the 80s was a government funded operation to hide money, like benefits. So the idea was, we won't arrest the people bringing cocaine in. They'll sell the cocaine. We'll arrest people who have cocaine, take all that money and give it to a fucking Brazilian militia so they can buy guns and shit.
They were funding people to fight the cocaine growers with
cocaine money
from the cocaine. Yeah. You are right on that. I don't see the parallel, but you're very correct on that. Cocaine was allowed to.
I'm just saying the corruption of government is circular. So if we have a goddamn cartoon spelling it out for us, art imitates life, light imitates art. And
so wait, you think Hillary Clinton's the sheep from Zootopia?
I think she is pitting wars in the minority versus the majority populations of this country. And fucking Pixar pointed a finger at it.
Wouldn't you argue that Trump is creating wars in the minority population by vilifying the minorities?
No. He's rallying up anger. He's rallying up shit. I don't think the systemic problems, the things that are built into
You're fucking out of your mind. You're using words like systemic right now about fucking Zootopia, man. You're fucking.
You should watch the movie again and really look at the minority, like social class of the fucking film, because it is like a rabbit can't do this. The systemic racism against any population you want to put into the word rabbit: Mexican, Hispanic, Chinese, Japanese.
You don't think the rabbit was a take on gender? It wasn't a gender comment?
Woman, whatever. No, I think it was more race. Because everything was played as a race. Foxes are dangerous, and rabbits are stupid, and this and that. And the whole film played out where it was one complete stereotype applied to anything. So women could, I guess, be joined in. Homosexuals could be joined in, but every animal had its own defined stereotype. And because you're a rabbit, you can't be a cop. So maybe that was the first woman cop. Oh, the predators, the 3% of the population, or whatever it was in the film, I'm not quoting it, but the minority of the population is the problem. Point the fingers as to why everybody's not happy at the minority. The government fueling cocaine.
I would argue that's the Trump campaign.
The government fueling the cocaine story we talked about in the 80s is an analogy to this government head pumping up drugs to incite and ruin the minority community, and then be able to point the finger at, look at these degenerates. It's a whole fucking analogy, dude.
If I get this right, well, it's more than a whole fucking analogy. If I get this right, it's like 12 analogies. Zootopia is simultaneously...
It's deep shit, man. You gotta go deep cuts.
Hold on. Deep cuts. Simultaneously, you see the movie Zootopia both being about the history of marijuana legalization.
No. Drug.
The history of cocaine.
No, not marijuana legalization. But I mean, in the same sense that you're demonizing a minority. The cocaine story, and because the cocaine epidemic mainly affected black communities and minority communities as well.
Dude, in one 10-minute speech, you have compared it to the Hillary Clinton campaign, systemic racism, the cocaine problem in the 80s, and the original marijuana problem in the 30s.
No, it's all one story. If you lay it out like you just did, it doesn't make any sense because I sound crazy. If you lay it down as the general gist of the 5 topics, those are examples that apply the idea towards the greater theme of Zootopia.
Fuck it, I'll go with you, man. I'll go with you there because for once it's me fucking not being crazy.
I'm telling you, I watched this movie one time through and I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was a fun little cartoon, but this is like what I heard. What
made you switch? What was it? A second viewing? When did you start
I only saw it once. This was my initial reaction to the film. But I don't know. Once it turned in, I thought it was a missing persons and a cop. The bunny. I thought the story was about the bunny rabbit. The story's not about the bunny rabbit. The story is about the lamb, the little fucking bitch of a fucking vice mayor using chemicals and drugs to turn a minority population into savages. Therefore, she can point the finger at him.
Can I say this is a great argument for why adults shouldn't watch cartoons? Like, this is just a great argument for my...
No, but you watch all cartoons. All cartoons have adult fucking things kind of hidden into them because it's adult people making them. It's adult people hiding little secrets for the adults to giggle at.
Yeah, but with the way you're sounding like Alex Jones fucking directed the goddamn Zootopia,
I don't know if Alex Jones isn't credited on this. I don't think I'm crazy.
There's fluoride in the zoo water.
I think I have a very valid point-to-point argument about Zootopia being a fucking reflection of systemic racism in this country.
If you could pay attention, Building 7 was constructed. Building 7 of the zoo was clearly, you can see where the demolitions had been set. Clearly, the metal was set to detonate at a certain...
Dude, I'm just saying, I don't get like this very often. I watched this movie. I watched The Butler, and I was like, yeah. I watched this movie, and I'm like, fucking racism in this country is got to stop.
I mean, that's not a bad sentiment to have, but holy fuck, man. Oh, all I can hear is like it's like serial Alex Jones coming at me right now. Holy fuck.
I give you a warning, dude. I put the tinfoil hat on.
If you look at the size of the hole in the cave, clearly a plane could not have created that size of the hole in the cave. It had to be more than that. It had to be more like a rocket.
Everybody out there in radio land, podcast land, please go back and watch Zootopia with the one thought of minorities being oppressed or turned into savages through chemical use, drug use.
Well,
the 80s epidemic is exactly what that was.
I'm not going to say, I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it, and I'm going to warm up by watching Zeitgeist and Loose Change first, and then I'll go right into Zootopia, and we'll see what happens.
I don't know what those others two are. What is Zeitgeist and Spare Change?
They're the most popular fucking YouTube conspiracy theory documentaries. Loose Change is the one. Anyway, that's a 9/11 truther. It will at some point try to show you Loose Change. It was made by like a 12-year-old in his dad's basement. But anyway, yeah, dude, I'll watch it. I'll give it another shot.
I'm serious about that shit, man. This is real life. It's fucking real shit, dude.
I'm very intrigued. I want to
Zootopia, man. It'll open your eyes.
You should get on that Reddit where they have alternate movie theories, and you should post this theory up on that Reddit. I bet it would be very popular.
I wonder if it exists.
I don't know if anybody's ever had this reading of the movie Zootopia. I'll be honest, though, I've talked about the movie Zootopia more than I ever have in this podcast. So there may not be a lot of, there's probably not a lot of in-depth bubbling conversations in regards to the true meaning behind Zootopia. I think you might have.
Okay, yeah. So first thing that comes up when I typed in Zootopia, racism, drug use, and the first thing comes up is from the root.com, Zootopia. Yes, Disney made a movie about white supremacy and something. I got to click it to read the rest. And the war on drugs. Disney made a movie about white supremacy and the war on drugs.
Holy shit! Are you serious? Read some of this article.
This is by Jason Johnson and hosted on The Root. Last week, Zootopia, the 55th anniversary, debuted in theaters. Critical, huge, yay. Yeah, Zootopia, nothing like a Disney animated movie you've ever seen before. The movie is what happens when people who make Bambi and Dumbo team up with some conspiracy-minded hoteps. Who knew the folks at Disney had it in them to make the most searing, complicated, and subversive film about race, drugs, and the police since Traffic, but with furry animals.
Holy fuck!
The story revolves around Judy Hopps, a rabbit from the rural bunny burrow who dreams of one day being a police officer in Zootopia. The catch is there's never been a rabbit, like we said. because Zootopia prides itself on being a city where animals, big and small, predator and prey, can live in harmony. Zootopia makes it clear that the predator, prey, black, white, Hispanic are all pretty interchangeable when you're talking about discrimination. Judy is discouraged from being a cop, and when she graduates top of her class from the police academy, the chief believes she's just a result of mammal inclusion initiatives and a sort of affirmation or affirmative action. Throw the mayor, who constantly obsesses about being the predator mayor of the cities, that 90% is prey. So this is, again, the statistics. This is all reinforcing. This guy saw the same thing I saw.
Holy fucking shit, man. Cyril, out of all my goddamn tinfoil hat moments, I've never successfully been able to Google what I was saying. You just fucking won the show, because if you were to Google, does hair color mean you have self-image issues? You probably wouldn't find a million articles on it. But this fucking thing, holy fuck.
Judy and her partner, a sly fox named Nick Wilde, discover there's a drug being put on the street that causes the predators to go wild. They become violent, smash up property, and attack other animals like so-called animals. While the drug has the same effect on small prey as well as all those deeply affected by drugs are predators like panthers and otters, all of whom are voiced by Hispanic actors. There's one. So all the people who are the wild ones in the film are voiced by black or Hispanic actors.
Jeez Louise.
And that plays into long existing stereotypes in the prey community that predators are inherently violent and cannot be trusted. As a result of the new drug epidemic, predators are denied jobs, demoted from positions of influence, treated like menaces to society. You see what the fuck I'm saying, dude? Somebody else is fucking writing the words that I thought were original.
Sarah, right now, this is what's going on in my head.
Oh, it's straight out of the realization that members of the CIA were either wittingly or unwittingly helped introduce crack cocaine into the minority communities in the 70s and 80s.
God damn it.
Even though the press and some political leaders denied it for years.
You fucking just nailed it. You fucking saw through the bullshit and saw what Zootopia was really about.
So let me finish this statement. The subsequent destruction of the mostly black neighborhoods was made easier for white political leaders and pundits of dismiss African-American communities as filled with crack babies, welfare queens, and super predators. There can never be enough of attention paid to this dark time in American history, even if it comes out of the mouths of furry animated creatures. Is Zootopia perfect? Of course not. The racial messages are muddled, but overall, children will enjoy this film.
Is that the last sentence, really?
No, it goes on. It goes on to about Disney and the Boondocks, and I thought it was a good place to quit.
I'll tell you, though. I will tell you this. It makes a lot more sense now why when we left the theater, my daughter told me that the CIA created the crack epidemic to keep the black man down. Now I know why she said that.
Well,
I was wondering.
You just need to see the world through a child's eyes.